If it's not premium, I'm not interested. CEO vibes only. Eva shake 'em well, well. We must attract a rich guy today. We deserve soft life too.
The sun in Lagos does not just shine. It shows who is winning and who is not. That morning, Mirabel was outside. A bus driver shouted at her as she struggled into a crowded yellow danfo, squeezed between strangers, sweat rolling down her back. Hours later, she stood behind the glass counter of Maison Allen Boutique as a salesgirl. Her feet burned inside the high heels she had borrowed from her roommate Eva. Mira, focus, she whispered to herself. She was folding a silk gown that cost 3 times her monthly salary. The boutique was a palace of marble floors and golden hangers. It was where the wives of politicians and the daughters of oil moguls came to breathe in the scent of expensive perfume and soft life. Mira smiled as a regular customer walked in. "Good afternoon, Chief Mrs. Benson. You look radiant today. We just received some Italian lace that would look perfect on you." "Oh, Mira, you always know what I like," the woman replied, waving a hand adorned with gold rings. "Keep 2 sets aside for me. I'll send my driver to pick them up." When the woman left, Mira let out a long sigh. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a call from her younger sister, Kamsi, back in the village. Mira hurried to the back room to answer. "Sister Mira!" Kamsi's voice was shaky. "Mama is not breathing well. The doctor at the clinic says we need 10,000 naira for the first set of injections and drip. I don't have even 5 naira, Mira." Mira felt a sharp pain in her chest. It wasn't just the stress. It was the sheer weight of being the first daughter of a family that saw her as their only escape route. 10,000? Kamsi, I just sent you money for school fees last week. I know, but the illness came suddenly. Please, sister. Mira looked at her reflection in the mirror. She was wearing a second-hand designer blazer one of her friendly customers had dashed her. "Don't worry, Kamsi. I will send it now. Just take care of her." She ended the call and leaned against the cold wall. She had exactly 15,000 naira in her account. By the time she sent 10,000 to the village, she would be left with 5,000 naira to survive the rest of the month in the most expensive city in Africa. She looked at her reflection in the full-length mirror. She looked beautiful. Sharp cheekbones, clear skin, and eyes that held a hunger that frightened her. "I must make it," she whispered to the empty room. "This life is not for me." The life she actually lived was a 1-room apartment in a Face Me, I Face You compound in Yaba. The walls were thin enough to hear her neighbor, Mama Sunday, arguing with her husband about kerosene prices. Mirabel shared this room with Eva, her best friend and the owner of a struggling hair studio. By evening, the transformation began. The 1-room apartment became a backstage dressing room. "Oh yeah, Mira, shift, let me see the mirror," Eva said, nudging her. Eva was currently gluing a 30-inch frontal wig onto Mirabel's head. It was a wig from Eva's shop, high quality, meant for a customer, but currently serving as a prop for Mira's digital theater. "This wig is giving what it's supposed to give," Mirabel said, pouting at her phone's camera. She was wearing a designer gown a customer had dashed her because of a tiny invisible stain on the hem. "Use my iPhone 15, Eva offered, handing over the device. "My camera quality is better. If we are going to lie to the world, let the lie be in 4K. Mira posed. She adjusted the borrowed watch, making sure the gold plating caught the light. She looked stunning. She captioned her post on Instagram, "If it's not premium, I'm not interested. CEO vibes only." "You really have mind," Eva laughed, though there was a slight edge to her voice. "People on Instagram think you are eating dollars for breakfast. Meanwhile, we are sharing 1 tin of sardines for dinner tonight." "Fake it till you make it, Eva. One rich man is all it takes. Just one. And when I find him, I'm pulling you up too. Better find him fast, Eva muttered, looking at her own reflection, because this rent is not going to pay itself with Instagram likes. The club was a roar of bass and neon lights. Mira and Eva walked in like they owned the building. They didn't have money for a table, so they stood near the VIP section, swaying to the music and holding their empty hands as if they were waiting for a waiter. "Look at that one over there," Eva whispered, nodding toward a table covered in bottles of expensive cognac. A man was sitting there. He was dark, tall, and had a face that looked like it was carved by a master artist. His braids were neat, and he wore a white shirt that looked like it cost a fortune. "He hasn't stopped looking at you," Eva nudged. "Mira, don't blow this. This one looks like a heavy hitter." Mira took a deep breath. She adjusted her borrowed dress and put on her most expensive smile. Suddenly, the man stood up and walked toward them. Each step he took felt like a heartbeat. "I've been watching the way you move." His voice was like velvet. "You don't look like the other girls here. There's a grace about you." Mira played with her hair. "Is that so? Maybe I'm just bored of the usual Lagos scene." The man smiled, showing perfect white teeth. "I'm Jason, and you are?" "Mira. Mira Gold." "A golden name for a beautiful woman," Jason said. "Come, join my table. It's too crowded out here for someone like you." For the next 2 hours, Mira lived the dream. Jason told her he was a businessman with interests in real estate and shipping. Mira told him she owned Maison Allen Boutique and was looking to expand into international markets. "I love an ambitious woman," Jason said, leaning in. "I've been looking for someone serious, someone I can spoil and build a life with. If you agree to be my woman, your struggles, not that you have any, are over." Mira's heart was racing. I think I'd like that, Jason," she replied shyly. She sipped her champagne, her borrowed wig perfectly laid, her dress hugging her like confidence she hadn't earned. Jason glanced at her, eyes sharp but playful. "Did you drive here?" he asked casually, swirling his drink. Mira's heart skipped. For half a second, her mind raced, the danfo she boarded, the uncomfortable ride, the fear of being seen. She forced a soft laugh. "No," she said quickly. "My car is at the mechanic, gearbox issues." She shrugged lightly, taking a sip of her drink. "You know Lagos mechanics, they'll frustrate your life." Before the night ended, Jason took her hand. "I don't want you going home in a taxi, but my driver is already away. Take this for your transport." He handed her a bundle of cash. Later, in the safety of her room, Mira and Eva counted it. 500,000! Mirabel shrieked. "In one night, Eva! I told you, my life has finally started." Eva smiled a smile that didn't reach her eyes. 500,000, just like that. You are lucky, Mira. Very lucky. The weeks that followed were a blur of soft life. Jason was the perfect boyfriend. He sent flowers to the boutique, which Mirabel had to intercept outside so her boss wouldn't see. He took her to restaurants where the menu had no prices. He bought her designer bags that were actually new, not dashed by customers. Mirabel posted everything. Her Instagram was a curated gallery of luxury. Date night with Bae, surprise with a new Chanel, living my best life. But while Mirabel was ascending, Eva was brooding. Every night, Eva sat in their small room watching Mirabel unwrap gifts. "This dress is beautiful, Mira," Eva said one evening, feeling the fabric of a new gown Jason had bought. "It must be nice to have a man who worships the ground you walk on." "Your time will come, Eva," Mirabel said, distracted by her phone. "Will it?" Eva asked softly. "I'm the one who lent you the wigs to catch him. I'm the one who took the photos that made him notice you. Now you are moving to a new apartment next month, and I'm still here with Mama Sunday's noise."
I'm going to help you, I promise, Mirabel said, sensing the tension. Once Jason and I are settled, I'll get you a better shop. Sure, Eva muttered. The next evening, while Mirabel was in the shower, her phone lit up on the bed. A message from Jason. Eva picked it up. She didn't just look at the message. She scrolled. She found his number and saved it into her own phone. A week later, while Mirabel was at work, Eva visited Jason at the hotel suite he was staying in. She didn't go as a friend. She went as a whistleblower. Jason, I can't keep quiet anymore, Eva said, squeezing out a tear. Mira is my friend, but I hate to see a good man like you being played. She doesn't own any boutique. She's a sales girl. Those clothes she wears, they're either mine or used ones she begs from customers. She's a professional liar. Jason sat back, his face unreadable. A sales girl? Yes, and that's not even the worst part. There is madness in her family. Her mother in the village is not just sick, it's a mental thing. She's just using you to fund a life she can't afford. Eva didn't stop there. She stayed. She comforted him. She showed him that she was the honest one. And Jason, surprisingly, didn't seem angry. He seemed intrigued. The change was gradual. Jason stopped picking up Mirabel's calls. The good morning queen text stopped. When she finally reached him, he was cold. I'm busy, Mira. Stop choking me, he had snapped. Mirabel was devastated. She turned to Eva for comfort. Give him space, Eva advised, while hiding a smile. You know how these Lagos big boys are. Maybe he has found someone else. Just enjoy the money you already got from him. I don't want the money. I want him, Mira cried.
One afternoon, Mirabel was at the counter of Maison Allen. She was tired and worried. The glass door pushed open. Mirabel stood up, putting on her professional smile. Welcome to Maison. The words died in her throat. It was Jason. He was dressed in a sharp navy suit and clinging to his arm, wearing a dress Mira knew very well because it was from the boutique's new collection, was Eva. Jason, Mirabel whispered. Eva, what is going on? Jason looked at Mira with so much disgust, it felt like he had spat on her. We came to buy some things for my queen, he said loudly. Since you are the owner, I am sure you can give us a discount. Eva laughed, a sharp, metallic sound. Oh, Jason, stop it. She's not the owner. She's just the girl who mops the floor and folds the clothes. Eva, how could you? Mirabel's eyes filled with tears. You are my sister. Sisters don't leave each other behind in the trenches, Mira, Eva snapped. You are becoming too big for your shoes. I just helped you take them off. Jason stepped forward. You really have mind. You thought you could scam a man like me? A common sales girl on a 30,000 naira salary? You are lucky I didn't call the police for obtaining by false pretenses. Jason, I loved you. He scoffed. He turned to the manager, who had come out to see the commotion. Manager, my queen here wants to buy some things, the most expensive ones, and I want this girl Mira to be the one to carry the bags to my car. The manager, confused but recognizing a high-paying customer, turned to Mira. Mira, do as the gentleman says. Help them with their selection. It was the longest hour of Mirabel's life. She had to fetch sizes for Eva. She had to watch Jason kiss Eva's forehead. She had to endure Eva's whispered taunts. You see, you can't keep a man with a fake life. When they were done, Mirabel carried 6 heavy bags to the trunk of Jason's Mercedes. Jason opened his wallet, pulled out a 1,000 naira note and crumpled it. He threw it at her feet. Use that to fund your next Instagram post, loser, he said. They zoomed off, leaving Mirabel standing in the dust of their exhaust, her tears streaming down her face. For 3 days, Mira didn't go to work. She stayed in the room, which felt smaller than ever now that Eva had moved out to live in Jason's mansion. Eva's Instagram was full of photos of her new life.
finally found a man who treats me like the asal dogu that I am. Real luxury doesn't hide, Eva posted. Mira looked at her own reflection. No makeup, no borrowed wigs, just her. I am tired, she said to the empty room. I am so tired of pretending. She went back to work on the fourth day. She apologized to her manager for the scene. She stopped posting fake things on Instagram. She started arriving at the boutique an hour early. She studied the fabrics, learned the history of the designers, and treated every customer, whether they were buying a scarf or a gown, with genuine respect. Mrs. Rita, the owner of Maison Allen, was a woman who saw everything. One evening, after the shop had closed, Mrs. Rita called Mirabel into her office. "Mira, you've changed," she said. "I am sorry for my past behavior, Ma," Mira said, looking down. "I was foolish." "I didn't say it was a bad change," Mrs. Rita smiled. "I saw what happened with those people last month. I saw how you handled it." Mrs. Rita sat down. "I am getting old and I have no children. I don't need a liar, but I do need an ambassador. Someone who knows what it means to want a better life and is willing to work for it. Do you want to stop being a sales girl and start being the face of Maison Allen?" Mira's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, Ma, more than anything." "Good. No more Mira Goldilocks lies. We start tomorrow," the woman said. The next day, Mira moved through the boutique with quiet confidence. No longer just a sales girl, she was Maison Allen brand ambassador. Her Instagram posts showcased the boutique's clothes authentically, drawing celebrities, socialites, and young professionals alike. Sales skyrocketed. Private appointments became common. Luxury watch companies, designer handbag labels, high-end fashion houses, and even upscale skincare lines reached out, wanting her to feature their products. Each collaboration came with professional photo shoots, contracts, and real pay. Meanwhile, in Jason's house, Eva had lived like a queen for 3 weeks. She spent her days recording videos of the marble floors and the swimming pool. She would sit in the back seat of Jason's SUV, her legs crossed, filming her designer shoes while the song Electricity played in the background of her Instagram stories. She felt she had won. She had taken the man, the money, and the life Mira wanted. "Baby," Jason had said one night, rubbing her shoulders as they sat on the balcony. "You know I'm moving my shipping containers from the terminal tomorrow. It's over 50 million naira in goods, luxury hairs, designer perfumes, designer bags, and many more. I want to open a massive salon for you in Victoria Island, a place where you'll be the boss, not some small hair stall owner." Eva's eyes brightened. "Really, Jason? For me?" "Of course. But the custom officers are holding the goods. They want a final clearance fee of 13 million naira. I have 5 million ready, but my offshore account is frozen for a security check. If I don't pay by 10 a.m. tomorrow, they will auction everything." He looked at her with puppy dog eyes. "Can you help your man? I'll pay you back double once the containers land at the warehouse." Eva didn't even think twice. She called the local moneylender who had been eyeing her family's small plot of land in Ikorodu. She sold her hair studio equipment to a rival at half price. She emptied her savings. By 8 a.m. the next morning, she handed Jason a black bag containing 8 million naira in cash and bank drafts. "You are a lifesaver, Eva," Jason said, kissing her forehead. "I'm going to the port now. Wait for me. Tonight, we celebrate." He drove out of the gates, and that was the last time she saw his face. By 2 p.m., the house felt strangely quiet. The 2 hefty security men who usually sat at the gate were gone. Eva tried calling Jason. "The number you are calling is switched off. Please try again later." Maybe his battery died, she muttered, pacing the living room. At 4 p.m., a white Hilux drove into the compound. 3 men in suits and 2 policemen stepped out. Eva ran to the door, smiling. Is the cargo cleared? Where is Jason? The lead man looked at her with pity. Who is Jason? We are from the property management company. This house was a short-let rental. The payment expired at noon today. Eva's heart skipped. Rental? No, my boyfriend owns this house. He's a big businessman. The man laughed, but it wasn't a funny laugh. Young lady, this house is owned by a chief who lives in Abuja. A man named Chidi, probably Lord Jason, rented it for 30 days. He paid with a stolen credit card that just got flagged. We are here to lock up. But my cars, the G-Wagon, the Range Rover, Eva shouted, her voice reaching a high pitch. All tracked rentals, the policeman added, checking his clipboard. They were recovered by the rental company 4 hours ago at the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Your boyfriend is a professional Yahoo scammer. He's gone. Eva felt like someone had poured ice water over her soul. But my money, my 8 million, my family land papers. The men didn't listen. They began moving the few things she had brought into the house, her suitcases and wigs, out onto the driveway. Please, I have nowhere to go, Eva screamed, clutching the gate. Tell that to the police when you go to file a report for a man whose real name you probably don't even know, the manager said, before slamming the heavy iron gate shut. Eva stood on the curb, surrounded by her bags. The rain began to fall, the kind of heavy Lagos rain that doesn't care about your designer lace. She reached into her bag to bring out her phone to call a taxi, but as she stood there, a sudden wave of nausea hit her. She bent over and threw up into the gutter. As she wiped her mouth, a terrifying thought crawled into her mind. Her period was 6 weeks late. No, I can't be pregnant, she whispered, her voice cracking. She looked at the locked gate of the mansion, then at the dirty water splashing her feet. She had sold her mother's future for a man who didn't exist. She had betrayed her best friend for a house made of air, and now she was carrying the child of a ghost. She sat on her suitcase in the rain and wailed like a wounded animal. But the Lagos traffic was so loud that nobody even turned to look. A month later, Mira was finishing a professional photo shoot for the boutique's new campaign. She looked stunning in a simple, high-quality linen suit. Her skin was glowing, not from expensive cream, but from peace of mind. A shadow appeared at the door. It was Eva. She looked thin, her hair was messy, and her eyes were red from crying. Mira, she whispered. The security guard tried to move her, but Mira waved him away. It's okay, let her speak. Eva fell to her knees. Mira, I am so sorry. I was jealous. I thought I could take your place, but everything was a lie. Jason took all my money and left me. And Mira, I am pregnant for him. The moneylender is taking my mother's land. Please help me. Mira looked at her former friend. She remembered the nights they spent a single plate of rice. She remembered the betrayal too. I forgive you, Eva, Mira said softly, but the friendship we had is dead. You didn't just tell the truth. You tried to destroy me so you could climb over my head. Mira reached into her purse. She didn't pull out a bundle of cash to show off. She wrote a check for a reasonable amount. Take this. It's enough to pay back your loan and start your hair business again. Eva took the paper, her hands shaking. Thank you, Mira. I don't deserve this. No, you don't, Mira said. Build something for yourself and your baby. You've helped me in the past. I won't forget that. Tears welled up in Eva's eyes again. She thanked Mira and left, moving back to a modest part of Lagos to rebuild her life from scratch. Mrs. Rita came out and placed a hand on Mira's shoulder. You did well. Now come inside. We have a contract from a brand in London. They want you to be their African representative. Mira looked up at the Lagos sun. It was still hot and the streets were still loud, but as she stepped back into the boutique, she realized she didn't have to pretend to be a queen anymore. For the first time in her life, she was actually one. Let this story remind you. Be patient with your process. Your time will come. Don't destroy your future trying to impress people who won't save you tomorrow. Like this video if you believe real growth is better than fake luxury. Subscribe for more deep emotional African stories.